Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about Canon 200d Mark II. Please subscribe to our channel Cluster Chips for more videos and insight. So friends, now we will open this box and see what all we'll get in this box after we buy this Canon 200d Mark II. So come, let's open this and we will explore what are the things we got in this box. This is the screen guard for the touchscreen on the camera. This is the battery charger for charging the battery, and the charging cable. And wow, this looks fantastic. And this is one lens which we got, and this is 1855 mm lens. Nice. Oh. Yeah. And this is 55-250 mm lens. And if we see here, we got the battery here. And we see a warranty card here, stamped. And we can see the logo of Digic 8 here. This is the processor which we use in this camera. And now let's see the specifications and features of this beautiful camera. This Canon 200d Mark II is the next version of Canon 200d, and this has been launched on 10th April 2010. If you catch it and see, it's a very lightest DSLR ever. It only weighs 448 grams. If you see the screen, it is a 3-inch LCD screen, a touch screen which we have. It's a touch screen, and this is a 24.1 megapixel camera. And if you see the processor in this camera, this is a Digic 8 processor, which is the latest processor in Canon cameras. And this Digic 8 processor is embedded in this Canon 200d Mark II model. And coming to the AF points in this camera, we have 9 AF points in this camera. You can see how it's focusing. As you know, AF points is nothing but the focus points, which focuses on your subject wherever you want to focus and or sharpen the image. We have 9 focus points in this camera. And if you see here, we also have an automatic focus and a manual focus. If you want to work on a manual focus, it's your wish, and if you want to make it automatic, you can change this mode to automatic and you can use this. And if you see here, we have a built-in flash which makes the picture quality brighter when you're shooting in the darkness. Coming to ISO, this camera has ISO from 100 to 25,600, and the shutter speed is 30 to 1/4000. And this camera is a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled camera. And coming to memory card, this phone supports the SDXC and SDHC cards. That's UHS 1 cards in this. And we have the video in MP4 format after we shoot the video in this. And if you see here, we have a mic slot here to put the mic input. And if you're shooting a video, you can input a mic here. And if you see here, we have an HDMI port, a USB port here. So let's see here features one by one, whatever we have. And we can also see a stabilizer mode, which we can put it on and off. This stabilizer mode will help you to reduce the blur whenever you have a shake of your camera. And if you see at this lens as well, and if you see this lens, that is 55 to 250 mm lens, Even on this lens we can find the automatic or manual focus mode and a stabilizer mode as well. And this is the release button for releasing the lens from the camera. If you press this, this gets released from the body. And coming to the options here, we have a menu button here. Menu button here. By selecting the menu, you can select many options here: the shooting settings, the playback settings, the Wi-Fi settings, the functional settings, and the display level settings. And we have an info button here as well. And this is a viewfinder here. And we can see an external flash which can be set up here if you want to use external flash in this camera. And coming to the modes, we have different kinds of modes in this camera as well. And if you see, we have the shutter priority mode and aperture mode. This mode is used to sharpen the images. And a manual exposure. If you are good in photography, you can use this mode by setting up your own aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. So I have a creative filter mode here, and if you see this mode, we have a fisheye effect. This is pretty good, right? And we also have a soft focus effect and a grainy black and white water painting effect. See the city how it's looking. For this camera, we have this kind of setting in this camera, so it's very good to have effects inbuilt in this camera rather than taking the picture out and editing it. And we have a scene mode, and we have automatic and intelligent automatic mode here as well. We have an ISO and a display button on the camera. And if you press the ISO button, we will get the ISO numbers here, and we can just change it by using the scroll which we have here. It's very easier to use whenever you're in a photo shoot or whenever you're working. It'll be very handy to use. And if you see the on and off switch, we have a different switch built in here. See, you need to just turn off, and the turn on will be slight slide. And if you want to go for video mode, it just goes like this, and the screen goes to your video mode. And if you want to only shoot the pictures, you can just put it back so that it comes to the picture mode. And here we see the zoom in and zoom out, and here we see the joystick for selecting the options here. And this is the play button where you can play your photos and videos, and a delete button here. So this is a very lightweight camera which you can use well, easier, and you can also shoot a 4K video in this camera. We have a great option, that is we can shoot a video, 4K video at 25 frames per second. We have that option in this camera. And coming to advantages and disadvantages, first we'll see the advantages of this camera. The first advantage is this is a very lightweight camera and easier to catch and work on it. And the second one is we can shoot 4K video in this camera, and getting a 4K option in this lower price is really a good point for us. So we have advantage of taking a 4K videos in this camera. And coming to disadvantages of this camera, we only have a 9-point AF. As we just spoke, we only have 9 AF points in this camera. So more the AF points, more the picture sharpness we'll be getting. So more the AF points, more sharpened the image will look. So we only have 9 AF points in this camera, but still anyway we can use this camera well. If you're a passionate photographer and if you want to learn photography, this is the best camera for you. And if you want to shoot short films or advertisements, this will be a very good camera, as you can shoot in 4K or HD formats, whatever you want. Please subscribe to our channel Cluster Chips for more videos and insights.